Well, good morning again, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon, depending on where you are, and welcome to the 22nd U.S. Bar Table Championships presented by CSI. And this event is sponsored by OB, the official cue of the U.S. Bar Table Championships, and also by Kamui, which is the official tip here at the USBTC. And we'd like to welcome you to the 9-ball division. We're just kicking off play right now with our opening match between the South Dakota kid, Shane Van Boening, excuse me, and his opponent is Joven Bustamante from Manila. So we should have a nice little start to the festivities here. 150 men are entered into the 9-ball division. The women's division is still open for entries. Their play starts at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Shane wins the lag, and he's going to break in rack number 1. This is races to 9, and I'll give you the rules here right after the break. Okay, this is basic 9-ball with no requirements for any restrictions on the 9. It is good on the break in any pocket. A legal break requires the 1 ball to be struck first and either pocket a ball or drive 4 object balls to the cushions. If that's not accomplished, it's a foul. It's ball in hand for the opponent. Push out, of course, is allowed on the shot immediately after the break. The 3-foul rule is in effect. And that's really about it. Nothing has to be called. Just hit the lowest ball first. Anything that goes in counts. And it is, as all CSI events, alternate break. So there you have it on the rules. Our equipment in use all week are 7-foot diamonds with Pro Cut 4.5-inch pockets, Simonis 860 Tour Blue cloth, the Magic Ball Rack, which is required for use, and of course Cyclop pool balls. And those 4 companies are also our associate sponsors here, and you'll see their banners around the arena. Right there you see our 3 signature sponsors, CSI, Kamui, and OB. So once again, our gratitude to all of those great companies for their support here over the years and going on into the future. We're going to do 3 rounds of 9-ball for you right now. We're going to do 1 o'clock, 2:30, and 4 o'clock. And then at 5:30 p.m. is the 10-ball final. And coming from the 1-loss side is Skylar Woodward. And undefeated, his opponent, Jeff Ignacio. And Ignacio is the person that put Skylar on the 1-loss side in the hot seat with a thrilling hill victory in probably the most exciting match that we've had. And then Skylar with a really terrific performance there in the last match of the night that he played Edgy Geronimo, that went hill with an incredible amount of drama, some twists and turns, a real bad skid on 1 ball for Edgy, and then Skylar double hitting the cue ball when he made a 110 combination. Just all kinds of weird stuff in that match, and somehow or another Skylar didn't quite get there, but now he's got a chance for revenge. Uh-oh. Could see the moment he hit it right into the point. Big mistake there by the South Dakota kid. You cannot afford to hand your opponent a game when it's your break. And certainly a long way to go here, and we'll just have to see if that mistake is something that Shane will be thinking about later on today or not. So rack number 1's in the books to Joven, and now he's going to break in the second game. It is rack your own, and there's no requirement for the 2 ball to be in the back. Matter of fact, the racks need to be random every time, with the exception of the 1 and the 9. I also want to say congratulations on behalf of the entire crew here to our newly crowned women's 10-ball champion. That match took place just a little while ago. We're sorry that we couldn't bring it to you. It's just the way the scheduling worked out. We had to get that done before the 9-ball began. And I'm going to keep you in suspense till after Joven breaks here, and then I'll tell you who our champion is in the women's 10-ball division. 1 in the side, corner ball, and the 7's going to block him on the deuce. So Shane will probably get at least a turn. I think he may have to push out somewhere down here for a kick, or possibly just push it to the cushion and require a jump shot. And that was the choice. And Shane didn't even get up. Go right ahead, he says. So let's see how Joven handles the short cue. Struck it nicely. Unfortunately, the 2-ball grazed off the 7 and fell into a position where Shane's clear on it. And now he has the opportunity to get back the game that he gave away in the last rack and put things back on serve here. All right, well, 1 turnover each, and each guy has 1 on the other guy's break, so we're back about where we should be here at 1-1. Chain to break, rack number 3. So back to the women's 10-ball championship match for a second. The competitors were Jessica Ferderes, who has won the 10-ball division here in the past. I think she may even have won the 9-ball as well. Very strong player. But unfortunately, this wasn't her year because she was defeated by Taylor Hanson, who was all of 16 years old, playing in her very first U.S. Bar Table Championship. She is now the ladies 10-ball champion. So congratulations, Taylor. And you done good, young lady. You done good. All right, Shane with a ball made and an open shot at the 1. 3 ball's going to be a little hard to get to, but he's got lots of room to select his angle on the 2. Let's see how he goes about it. Not sure he got there. It's really close. Still even hard to tell from this angle. Well, maybe he can quite just sneak in there. Might be 2 rails with inside. No, came the other way, and that, look out for that side pocket chain. See ya. Boy. That's 2 mistakes in 3 racks. Very uncharacteristic. Made a nice shot on the 3. Bumped the 8. The shot on the 4. I'm just surprised at the path that he took. Certainly not second guessing one of the all-time greats there, but there was always that risk of the side pocket going that way. And look at this, Joven got out of line badly on the 8 ball here. So now he's going to have to do something with this cue ball. Have to really kill it. Try to miss this corner pocket. I think he'll be able to. To really dig down on this with low left. So each player has capitalized on the opponent's mistakes. Joven twice and Shane once, and that's why it's 2-1. CSI has added 5,000 again to the men's division here in 9-ball, and 1,000 for the ladies. And that money is guaranteed added. And that is the case in all 3 divisions. 5 for the men, 1,000 for the women, plus the money for the all-around champions, first and second in both divisions. So a total of 22,500 added by CSI. Corner ball. I believe he can see the 1. Certainly not easy. Not sure if he can go forward and go around the 3 ball. He may have to draw this into the cushions, into the side rail. Nice shot there. Unfortunately, now he's going to be over the 9. It's going to make this play really hard. The only advantage he's got is I don't think the cue ball can get by the 6 and scratch in that corner. If he elects to take this on, and I kind of think he almost have to. But I've only seen Joven play 1 set, so I'm not 100% familiar with his game and his preferences, and you know, we'll just have to learn that all together here as the match unfolds. was that a tremendous shot. Are you kidding? Over a ball. Don't scratch. Don't hook him. Oh, God. It doesn't get much colder than that. Make that shot jacked up 3 rails with a little bit of inside English and have that happen to you. That's just brutal. So now we're at 2-2 as far as unforced errors are concerned. And the score is going to reflect that. It's a tough way to lose a game there, Joven. Hopefully the pool gods will repay you for that one. And I'd like to remind you all that OB is the official cue of the U.S. Bar Table Championships. And of course, Kamui as well is the official tip here at the USBTC. Trying to decide if he wants to play for the 3-8 or possibly go into the 3 at some point off the 2, or maybe try to move the 8. But the combination doesn't lay that bad. It would appear that's the way he's going to play. This will probably just be 3 rails around, maybe 2. Yeah, I thought he'd go all the way around. It's going to give him the better sight line here on the combination, and the 3 should slide over here near the 5. I don't think it'll tie up with the 5. Sort of stop the cue ball right there. Play the 3 in the opposite corner. Doesn't want it to go in, though. Now what? I wonder if he's even thinking about maybe trying to billiard the 6 off the 4. We'll see how he can pocket the 4 and get on the 5. Yeah, he's looking at the 6 ball. I really think that's the best way to try to get out here. Risky, but I guess that's not what he's doing. Maybe safe with the 4 behind the 5. Yep. I think Joven can hit the 4 straight on. He can come 2 rails into it that way as well. That's really a better choice, because if he comes thin off the second cushion, the 5's going to stop the 4, and the cue ball is going to go up the other end of the table. but he's got to just barely nick it. You don't want to hit it too fat. That's beautifully executed there, especially if it goes behind the 9, and it did. That was a world-class shot right there. And Shane with the pissed off stroke. Well, this ain't good either. He might be able to have the cue ball hit the point if he just hits it softly to pocket the 4 ball, and that actually wouldn't be bad if he was around where the 4 is to shoot the 5. But boy, it looks like it's too far to cut it in the side. Maybe not. Yeah, he did use the point, but because he had to cheat the pocket to avoid the scratch in the side, he missed the 4 ball. Man. Well, I think out of the 5 racks we've played, I don't think anybody's won on their own break yet. Wing ball going every game, they're going to have to work on controlling the 1 ball a little bit better. He's going to try to put the cue ball behind the 2-8. make up his mind. Well, his concern here is if he's trying to stun the cue ball, he's got to fade not hitting the 6, and he really can't follow this too easily because the corner pocket's big. He missed the 6, but is he going to get a reward? No, unfortunately not. That was a pretty good shot, too. The way Shane played that 6-ball, 2 rails with inside, that's what I thought he was going to do a couple of games ago when he wound up shooting the 4 in the side with center left, and he scratched in the side pocket. I thought he would use that inside path and double the corner to take the side out of play. But has it been the pattern here since we started? Each man has one on the other man's break. And there's been at least one unforced error per player per game here. We'd like to also mention our great host here, the official host and sponsor of the U.S. Bar Table Championships, the Grand Sierra Resort and Casino. This is our 3rd or 4th year here. As we've said every time, it's just a tremendous venue. So much room to spread out the tables and leave room for the spectators. Great hosts, the GSR. Well, finally, a break and run. And the lead for SVB, 4-3. Don't forget, everybody, you can follow the online brackets as they occur by going to either ctsondemand.com or badboysbp.com. Our tournament direction team, Bad Boys Billiard Productions. So either of those websites you can pick up the flowcharts, both men's and women's divisions, and track your favorite players. Well, Joven's playing 5-ball here, and he's got a straight-in deuce to start. Hey, where are you going? I don't know if you noticed there when he just shot the 5-ball, how he shortened up his bridge. His bridge was only 2 inches. And that really helps you on those little short draw strokes. You don't want a big stroke. You don't want a lot of your shaft going through. It just gives you much better control. You can feel the shot a whole lot better with that short, tight bridge. So back and forth we go. The 2-ball bumped the cue ball a little to the left, and that helped him at least to have a realistic shot here. The cue ball was another 4 inches or so to the right where it was before the 2-ball tapped it. This would play so much tougher. He's still got to thread the needle though with the cue ball here. Watch out. You know, that risk was always there. I mean, it was a tough enough shot as it laid, but there was always the possibility of running into something. Is he really going to take this on in the side? He was playing safe. I mean, there was no way that was an attempt to pocket the ball on the side. He just wanted to get the cue ball up here behind the 489, and of course the collision prevented that. And Joven's got a great opportunity here to, well, as soon as the words came out of my mouth, he caught the tip of the point of the corner, and it slowed the cue ball. And instead of being straight in on the 3 to stop and get out, he wants to kill himself. This has just been the strangest match from the get-go. I don't think Shane's made this many errors in 6 months. Look at this. Ooh. Wow. Well, that was a gift from the gods right there for SVB. So just about at the halfway point here in this race to 9, opening round of the 22nd U.S. Bar Table Championship 9-ball division. Coming to you live from the Kamui Arena here at the Grand Sierra Resort in Reno. Joven Bustamante to break down 5-4 in a race to 9. Well, this looks tasty. I don't think there's much trouble getting to the 6 ball. I mean, you shoot the 4 and just bring the cue ball back a few inches and you've got a nice angle off the 5. Cue ball right about where it is now for the 6 would be perfect. You can see there's a good foot and a half really between the 6 and the 7. And he's got the other angle, so now he's going to draw it into the long rail and out to the center of the table. Got to be careful here if you go 2 rails behind it. Corner pocket's big. like to try to actually kick to make it 2 rails, because that'll send the cue ball down to the cluster of balls there and maybe offer a little bit of protection should the 1 not go. Plus that plays to the side of the 1 ball that minimizes the scratch potential. Boy, he hit it really well. It's a shame that he didn't get the full benefit of that. Looks like Shane at least can hit the ball. And even if he can't, he can certainly kick it from behind. So, nevertheless, I think it was a really good effort by Joven. He played it the correct way to minimize the scratch. And he should return to the table. You would expect at least 1 more time here. The 9 ball's real big here for the 1 rail kick. I mean, he can still do that. It's going to require a wider angle and a little bit more spin unless he wants to come 2 rails where he's standing. And it's really not a bad choice if he can do it, because if he hits the front side of the 1 here, the cue ball could go into the 4-7, 1 go up table. He might hook Shane back. And the worst part of that, besides the ball in hand, is he opened up the 4 and the 3. The 4 really has only the 1 pocket where the 3 ball is. If the 8 weren't there, he'd play the 1 on the side and move the 4 with the cue ball, but obviously you can see he can't do that. And he probably doesn't really like playing the 3 and 3 rails to the 4, because the target line goes right at the side pocket. Same with over and back, so a lot of thinking is going to go into the decision on how to play the 1 to the 3 here, because what's dictating what he does here is the 4 ball. This is very interesting. I'm just puzzled by what the thought process is by starting this way. Maybe he just doesn't like going from the 1 to the 3 this way. Yeah, the 9's big now. Well, now I completely understand why he played the 1-6, and that was to open up the pocket for the 4-ball. I should have probably seen that, but I didn't till now. And that's why he did it that way. Looks like cross side, doesn't it? Well, I'll tell you the thinking he put into the opening shot, playing that 1-6 combination, turned out to be the key to being able to get through the rest of the rack. So he keeps his edge for the time being. Joven's been making the wing ball every time, so the 4 should go right in the corner. He's been making the 1 almost all the time. Pretty good shot there from behind the back. Very nicely done there by Shane. Rail first, caught it coming out so it would hit the 7 and slow it down. And I think that he's going to have to kick it to the right of the 3. It's hard to tell if he's got the left edge of the 1. Even if he does, it's going to play tough to hide the cue ball. That seems to be the way he's leaning. Caught it a little too heavy, ran into the 7. Had he caught it thinner and missed the 7, he was going to head up there near the behind the 9 and the 6. But Shane with an opportunity now to take a 2-game lead for the first time in the match. That's not going to stop in time, is it? Yes, it did. All right, well, we've got our first 2-game advantage here. And Shane breaking now to get to the hill. 7-5 ahead in the race tonight. It's pretty apparent that Shane has started to bear down a little bit more. He played a very sloppy first half of the match, and I'm sure he realized that, and he also realized he can't afford to be turning the table over to this guy. To the hill he arrives. 8-5, Joven's break. Opening match here of the 9-ball division, 22nd U.S. Bar Table Championships. Live here at the Kamui Arena from the Grand Sierra Resort in Reno. Our official host, and really have enjoyed our relationship with the GSR here ever since we moved over from the Sands. And still got plenty of room to grow as this event continues to gain in stature and prestige. It's been kind of Joven's theme throughout the match. He's made a ball on the break almost every time, but he just can't seem to come up with an opening shot. Absolutely, he was going to cut that. I mean, he's not going down playing some safe at this stage of the match. He's got to run out every time he can, but he's going to need some help too. Well, he did his job. Now Shane needs to do his and close this out. Should he fail to win this rack and Joven were to break and run, it still would be Shane's break at Hill. But you can be sure that's not what he wants to do. He wants to end it right now. And I think he's kind of done making mistakes now in this match. That'll work. It's not as bad as it looks on the camera, folks. He's got plenty of room to just go across with the cue ball or pinch it right there, whatever is his preference. And that will take care of Joven Bustamante here in the opening game, opening match. A 9-6 win for Shane. And our next match will be in just a little over 20 minutes. Players are still to be determined. I don't think we've got that matchup yet for you, but we're going to have one at 2:30. One more 9-ball at 4, leading us into 5:30 with the 8-ball final. So stand by for about 20 minutes. As soon as we know our players, we'll let you know, and we'll be back with you at 2:30.